So come back. And you'll start to lie down and just put your elbows down. And then you want to scoot yourself so that you feel the edge of your block or your pillow right at the spot in the middle of the back. It's pretty much right where your sports bra will be. And that's where the thoracic and the lumbar spine meet. So kind of you get the curve starts to go in the other direction. So we're stretching out our thoracic spine or the upper back with this pose. And as you let your head come down, a block might feel a little bit too high, in which case I would come off, grab that second block or a pillow and place that under your head. So setting yourself up here to start, and then arms down by your side to side if it feels better on your low back to keep your knees bent, feet planted, or if you want to extend those legs. Arms out to the side. Once you have yourself set up, try closing your eyes and allow your back to open and settle. Feeling the passive expansion here. So I think we have some late joiners. For those of you that are just joining, we're opening our chest up using a block or a lumbar pillow, something like that, and block coming right to the middle of the back and then expanding over it. Arms out by the side, palm up, knees bent or extended. You can always drop them in towards each other. Take a couple breaths here just to feel where you're still holding tension, where it might be hard to release into this position. Maybe in your neck, it just wants to, be always looking up and moving. Instead, let your neck release, let it relax, let it hang down over the block. And then with your arms at the side, gently bend at your elbow and bring your palms in to touch the very base of your rib cage. Inhale into your solar plexus so you feel the middle of your ribs expand. Breathing in through your nose. And then exhale. Let it all go. It can be an open mouth sigh. Maybe you also had a snow day. I know for me, snow days are really just working from home with a 4-year-old. So that's fun. Again, taking a deep inhale. Into your solar plexus, feel your ribs expand and exhale. Again, it can be an open mouth sigh if you just need to get anything off your chest or feel a big release. Now moving into Ujjayi breath again, inhale through your nose into solar plexus. Keep your lips sealed and exhale. Now, if your head is feeling full of swirly, whirly thoughts tonight, and inhale into solar plexus. As you exhale, think about the exhale just draining out the top of your head. Again, take an inhale. Second option, if you want to feel a little bit more grounded, feel the exhale run down your spine, down to the very base of your hips and into your mat. We'll take 3 more breaths here. Inhale. Feel your ribs expand, decide which way of the rainbow would best suit you tonight, and let your exhale drop down one side of the rainbow. Inhale into solar plexus through your nose. Fill up, expand, feel the peak of your back, this pose, you're right in the middle of your chest, lift. Exhale either out the head or down through the bottom of the spine. Last time, breath in through your nose. And exhale. Your hands drop down to your side, and if your legs were extended, pull your feet in. So your feet are planted, and you'll just roll off of the block to one side. Gently push that block away and slowly roll back onto your mat. Now feeling your spine fully extended, touching the mat. The prop creating that arch is gone. Just gently windshield wiper your knees from side to side. If you have any tightness into your hip flexors, you can pause on one side and just really press through the top knee, and that will get right into the head of that hip. If it feels good to move a little bit faster, feel free to do that. And then slowly coming back into the middle. We're going to bring our feet in and take a either supported or a free bridge pose. So supported, you'll press into your feet, reach for that block and set it underneath your hips, making sure that you're not setting it into your lumbar spine at all, but really just catching the very top of your hips. And if you'd like to go without the block tonight, then just keep pressing through your feet to lift your hips high. Gather your shoulder blades together under your back. Either grab for the sides of your mat, or you can interlace your hands if there's no block in the way, and start to pull your knees along the crown of your head long. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Notice if there's any clenching in your glutes. You can even use your hands to kind of feel it, especially if you're not using the block. See if you can let go of your glutes. Maybe even let your hips sag slightly. Press more through your feet. Feel your hamstrings turn on. Start to take out any rounding in your low back. Inhale, press more through your feet. Ground through your big toes. And exhale. If you're using the support of the block tonight, then work more on pulling your knees and your head in the opposite direction so that you feel a lengthening all the way along your spine. Take one more breath in together. And then exhale, slowly lower down. Moving the block out of the way if you had that. And once you set yourself down, lift your knees up into a 90-degree bend. Now, you want your heels to be parallel or be down lower than your knees so that your shins are parallel with the floor. Usually, we start to let them kind of climb up. So do a little check with yourself, bring them down. Take your hands, interlace them at your lobe or at the base of your spine so that your thumb finds that crease right at the top, that atlas vertebrae. Wrap your elbow tips around and then reach your knees a little bit forward so they're really over your hips. Take an inhale. Exhale, curl up right through the middle. Press your low back down. Just a little lift, shoulders off the mat. Inhale. Press your low back down, knees up towards the ceiling. Exhale, curl both elbow tips up and then over to the left side. So both of your shoulders are lifted off of the mat. Inhale, come into center. Exhale, curl up, bring both elbow tips towards the right knee. Now make sure that that right knee isn't coming closer in, but it stays in line with the left. Inhale, come up into midline. Lowering down just slightly, press your low back down, knees lift. It's almost like you could glide a paper right underneath your hips. Exhale, curl up and over to the left. And then press your right foot forward, spread your toes so that that leg is at a 45-degree angle. Active feet, inhale, bring that right knee in, slide back into center, press your low back down. Exhale, slowly curl up over to the right knee and press your left foot forward. Turn on that thigh so it's really strong. Feel even your calf muscles start to turn on as you really spread through those left toes. Inhale, come back into center, lower your heels down if they started to lift. Exhale, curl up over to the left, extend your right leg. Now this time we're gonna hold here, inhale. Take your left hand, free it from behind your neck, bring it outside of your right knee, and then cross your right elbow even more towards your left knee. So there's like a crisscross happening. Inhale, release, come back into center, both hands behind your head, both knees over your hips. Exhale, curl up and over to the right. Press your left leg towards straight. Inhale, hold the crunch, release your right hand, cross it through midline so you bring the outside of the palm towards the outside of the left knee. Exhale, curl the left elbow closer to the right knee. Inhale, come to center. We're gonna do that one more time. I don't know about you, but my abs are burning, but that's good because it was a snow day and there wasn't a lot of exercise to be had. Exhale, curl up over to the left. Press your right leg straight. Inhale. Release the left hand, bring it across, pressing it to the outside of the right knee. Exhale, right elbow over to the left knee. Woo! Squeeze even more. Press your low back down. Inhale, come to center, last one. Lower those heels down. Exhale, curl up, both elbows to the right, press the left leg straight, spread those toes. Inhale, hold. Release the right hand, bring it across the body so it presses to the outside of the left knee. Exhale, curl the left elbow towards the right knee. Don't let the right knee move. Inhale, come to center and release. Bring both feet down. Hands down. Walk your feet in so your heels are close to your glutes and slowly curl one vertebrae up at a time. Again, walk shoulder blades together under your back. Yogi's choice, grabbing for the outside of your mat or interlacing your hands, and then press your hips high. Feel your chin lift slightly away from your chest. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. Feeling the stretch across the abdominals, opening up the front body. Maybe walking your shoulders again in underneath your chest. Take a deep breath in. And exhale out through the nose. All right, so we're going to interlace our hands now all together. Keep our bridge pose. Keep the right foot pressing down, and then see if you can start by lifting just the left heel up. If you feel stable and you want some more, start to press that right leg towards the front of your mat. So your Thighs stay parallel to each other. Your leg is shooting up at an angle. Again, spread those left toes, the lifted leg, and press more into your right foot. Do your best to keep your hips level. So you don't want that left hip to start sagging down. Instead, keep it at the same level as your right. Take one more breath in. Exhale, bring your left foot down to meet your right. Bridge pose, press down evenly through both feet. Maybe feel that little fatigue in your right hamstring. And then grounding through your left foot. Start by lifting just your right heel. Again, stabilize in the hips here. Use your core and then lift that right leg forward, keeping your thighs parallel. Spread through the right toes so that the right leg is just as active as the left. Again, press through the left foot. So you're using low back and core here, igniting all the way around. Take an inhale. And exhale, slowly bring the right foot down to meet the left. Release the hands out to the side, press palms up, back of the hands down. One more breath in. And then exhale, slowly articulate your spine as you lower down to the mat. Feeling the very bottom of your spine, your hips right at your sacrum, heavy on the mat. Take a deep breath in and out. Again, bend your elbows, bring hands to middle of your chest, right at the base of your ribs. Inhale into solar plexus. Exhale, choose that side of the rainbow through the top of the head or grounding through the hips. Exhale. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Feel your ribs expand. Exhale, either pushing the exhale down or up. Last time, deep breath in through your nose. And exhale through your nose. From here, gently roll onto one side. And slowly come up into all fours, facing the front of the mat. Bringing hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips, tuck your toes, gently move your hips a little bit from side to side. We're going to do a little bit more of core stabilization. So, big focus on our core to start this class, you might have noticed. And that's because as we get into chest openers, kind of doing what we did, but not with the block, a lot of times our ribs will just kind of start to flare out. I like to think of almost like fingers, right? Like there's like, boop. And we want to really ignite our core. So as we start to take these back bends, our core remembers to bring our ribs in and stitch right together down the middle, like sutures, kind of knitting our ribs together. All right. So back on hands and knees. We're going to keep the toes tucked and extend the right arm forward. Now try and keep your spine long, gaze down. And then slowly start to extend the left leg back. And then press also through the ball of that left foot. Now, right now, you might notice if you're starting to sag into that left shoulder, resting and kind of jutting that right hip down. Do your best to pull back in, palm in towards middle, big toe in towards middle, and core pulling up. So you have a nice strong spine. Inhale. Exhale, bring elbow to knee. Now, if you can go past that, instead of doing that, really bring the elbow to the knee and push your elbow into that head of the quad, right above your kneecap. Inhale, lengthen, press your right arm forward and spread through your left toes. Exhale, pull in, connect elbow to knee. Create some friction, some heat in that connection. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, touch. Inhale, lengthen. And now we're going to go in the opposite direction. And this is a really good practice for trying to get some spatial awareness where your hand and your foot are without actually seeing it. So now you're going to bend your left knee, reach back with your right hand, see if you can tap the inside of that foot. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, reach back, tap. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, reach back, tap again. Notice as you tap, if you feel like your ribs start to let go and splay, see if you can keep that spine pressing up even as you go into this slight back bend. Last time, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tap, and this time to hold. Grab a hold of your foot. Again, flare your toes. Press through your left hand to really stabilize in your shoulders. Maybe start to kick your foot into your hand. Draw your navel up and in so that you're using your core to protect your low back. Keep your gaze down at the mat. And then slowly release, extend, and come back in. Set your left knee down directly next to your right, both hands under shoulders. Pressing into the mat, just take 2 more breaths here. Long spine. Coming back to center. Inhale. And exhale. Then keeping your right hand down, slowly lift your left arm up. Again, palm in towards middle. Draw it in. Left toe stay tucked and then start to extend your right leg long. Think about turning those right toes in towards midline so you feel this whole movement from the hip and it centers and squares your hips. And then pull the left arm in, inhale, and then exhale, elbow to knee, 3 times. Inhale, up, extend, exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend, exhale, elbow to knee, hold, really create some activation, some friction between your elbow and the top of that quad. And then inhale, extension. Exhale, we'll get some flexion now in the opposite direction. Reach your left hand back, see if you can tap that right foot. Keep grounding and pressing through that right hand. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, flexion. Inhale, reach. Exhale, tap. Again, noticing what your core is doing. Inhale. Exhale, tap to hold. Grab the inside of your right foot. Draw everything in towards midline. Square your hips and then start to kick foot into hand and hand back into foot. Again, feel as though you have a corset on, but the good kind. The corset of your muscles wrapping around your lumbar spine, keeping it protected and supported. Breathe in through your nose. And then on your exhale, slowly release, extend, and bring both hands back down, both knees down. Inhale, press through your hands and start to reach your upper spine up towards the ceiling. Exhale, let your shoulder blades gather on your back and start to let your chest kind of sink down. Inhale, press through your hands, feel your shoulder blades protract away from your spine. And then exhale, let them gather together and retract. One more time, inhale. Really breathe into the upper back, the space behind the heart. And exhale. And pressing through your finger pads, lift your knees just an inch off the mat to hover. Rock a little bit forward and back. And then press your hips all the way back over your heel. Let your head release and then slowly bring your legs towards straight. Kind of keeping them at a 95% straight so that there's a gentle bend. Resting your hands, let your head hang down. Again, inhale, feel that expansion into your upper back. And exhale, let your neck release and hang. Inhale into upper back and press down more through your thumbs and point your finger. Exhale, let your head release and hang. One more time, inhale. Exhale all the air out through your nose. Let your heels drop down towards the mat and then lift your gaze to your hands. Slowly walk your way to the front of your mat. Feet hip width distance apart. Inhale, press into your shins, lengthen your spine. And exhale, fold. Sweeping your arms wide. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, bring your hands together at heart center. Press down through your feet. Roll your shoulders up to your ears together and then let them draw down your back. Pull your navel in and find your strong standing posture here. Maybe even closing your eyes so your balance isn't being controlled by your sights, but instead you let it start to come a little bit more internal. Gently breathing in and out through your nose. Take an assessment of here as to how you showed up on your mat today. If there's an irritation or a nagging, something that's maybe even out of your control, that you just want to let go of. And as you stand here, fiercely pressing your feet down, lifting your head high. Imagine that you were standing under a shower or better yet, a waterfall. And feel that water rinsing all of those nagging thoughts or anything that you brought with you into tonight's class, into the 60 minutes that you carved out. Let it just wash away. Let it dilute. Let it no longer tether you to those thoughts or to a person or to a feeling that you wish to just let go. Continue to breathe in and out through your nose. Feeling your breath also adding to that sensation of rinsing clean, starting fresh. Something's really nagging. You can always do an open mouth, lion's breath exhale, reaching your tongue down towards your chin. The more noise you make while exhaling, the better. And then let your hands release down. Inhale, stretch up. Feel the lightness, the freeness of your body. Exhale, fold. Inhale, pull yourself up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, slide back down, step back into a plank position. Inhale, pull your heels up so your shoulders rock forward over your hands. And then exhale, knees down, chest, chin down. Then straighten your legs, press your feet down, draw your chest forward. Bhujangasana, cobra pose. Press your hands down, pull your shoulder blades together so they're retracting on your back. Lift your gaze and then exhale, lengthen as you lower all the way down. Tuck your toes, keep your knees grounded. Press your hands up and hips back, and then lengthen your legs into downward facing dog. Ardha Svanasana. Remember to let your neck release here. Press more strongly through your hands, especially pointer finger and the thumb. Take a deep inhale, reach your hips high. Exhale, let your heels drop down. Then inhale, feel your shoulder blades protract away from your spine as you press. Exhale, heels ground down even closer to the mat. One more time, inhale. Exhale, let all the breath drain out. Look forward and either step or bend your knees and take a little hop as quietly as you can to the front of your mat. Inhale, press into your shins, lift halfway. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, sweep your arms wide, Urdhva Hastasana, arms up. And then exhale, hands together at heart center. Shoulder blades together down your back. Find that strong stance. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step back plank. Inhale, hold your plank strong, draw your navel in, protract your shoulders. Exhale, knees down, chest and chin down. Inhale, slither and pull yourself forward into cobra pose. Press the tops of your feet down, draw your heels together. Reach your chest forward. Exhale, lengthen your spine as you lower down. Tuck your toes, keep your knees grounded. Press up and back, heels, hips, meet maybe, and then lengthen your legs down, dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale through your nose. Exhale. Last time, inhale. Exhale. Gaze forward, bend your knees. And then everybody try little hop. Maybe you have to take multiple hops to the front of your mat. Make it as quiet as you can. Inhale, pull your spine long. Again, this is a place to practice strong lower back, strong core. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep and circle your arms wide to come up. Exhale, hands together to heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Fingertips can also be reaching down towards the ground, a little bit more core work. Exhale, plant your hands, step, or you can take a little hop back with some spring in the elbows to catch you. Inhale. Exhale, lower knees down, chest, chin down, booty high. Inhale, slide forward, Bhujangasana, cobra. Exhale, knees grounded, lower down. Tuck your toes, press hips up and back towards heels. And then lengthen your legs down, dog. Take a breath in and out. Relax your head, inhale. Exhale. Feel the backs of your legs start to ease and get a little bit longer. Deep breath in and out. Then look up at your hands. And you want them shoulder width distance apart. So your arms are running parallel all the way up to where they meet in across your collarbones. Spread your fingers wide if they're not. And then slowly lower your forearms all the way down to the mat. So we're moving into dolphin. And if you know you'd rather take this from a knees down position, feel free to do that. Or you can also pull in a block if you prefer that. Gripping the block, pressing fingers around the edge. If you want that challenge, again, from down dog, you'll just lower down. Press your hands down, relax the crown of your head. So the crown of your head is not resting on the mat, but it's lifted. Press into your forearms so you protract your shoulders, pulling your shoulders away from your spine. Take an inhale, tippy toe your feet in, and then exhale, press through your forearms and feel your heels start to reach closer to the mat. And inhale, feel your shoulders protract. Keep gripping down through your palms and make sure that your elbows aren't sneaking out to the side. Keep them drawing in directly under your shoulders. Exhale, relax your neck. Finger pads pressing down. Take another deep breath in. And then exhale, slowly bring your knees down. Taking dolphin prelude, knees down, walk your hands forward. Bring them together into a prayer position. And then bend your elbows, rest your forehead down. And bring your thumbs as close as you can to the back of your neck. Now, once you get there, you might think it would feel better, and you can stretch your elbows out even farther, lengthening your spine. From here, let your head be heavy. Feel your hips as the high point of this posture and your spine draping down. Notice how you are getting a deep opening in the chest. Notice how you also do not feel, hopefully, any compression in your low back. There's also no weight on your low back, but you can feel here how that is achievable to get a stretch in your chest without compromising. Slowly release your hands down. Lift your gaze and bring your hands back in under your shoulders. Tuck your toes. Press up and back into your downward facing dog. Ooh, maybe feeling a little bit more in those shoulders and that chest. And then slowly walk your way to the front of your mat. Moving into our B series. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Fingertips down, touching the mat. So bend your knees as much as you need to get that. And then really bring your hips down. Move the weight into your heels and then use your fingertips to graze the mat as you lift up into Utkatasana or chair pose. Right here, I want you to pause, bring one hand to your belly and the back of one hand to your low back. And give yourself an adjustment of lengthening your low back. Notice as soon as you do that, you're going to feel something underneath the palm of the opposite hand. And it's probably that core that we worked so hard to turn on at the beginning, saying, oh, yep, I'm on. All right, now holding that so you have a nice long spine right at the bottom, long lumbar spine, strong core, ribs drawing in. Reach your hands forward and then up as much as you can without starting to compromise and compress in the low back. So as soon as you feel that compression, come back forward. So maybe your hands are reaching out a little bit more to 45. See if you can sit down, turn on those thighs, reach them back. Woo! Ski season workout. Oh, I got a funny story about that one, which is good to tell in this posture. So we took Teddy skiing at Sunlight this weekend. He really loved the Enchanted Forest. Then we were going for another long run from the top. And off of a blue run, he just like, Enchanted Forest. Goes down into the trees. Just black diamond tree run. Not the Enchanted Forest. So that was a good workout. Turns out not all forests are enchanted, but it was good. We made it through. All right, exhale, fold. Woo! Inhale, pull your hands up your shins, Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, plant your hands, step back plank. Inhale, pull yourself forward, strong plank. This time, if you'd like to, you can take Chaturanga Dandasana, lowering down just halfway. Shoulders never dip lower than your elbows, and then pull up and through, upward facing dog. Always an option to do what we did earlier and going down into cobra. And then exhale, back down dog. From here, lift your left leg high. Inhale. Exhale, bring thigh to ribs and transition back forward into your plank. Making sure that you're using your core to pull your shin as far away from the mat as you can. And then plant it by your left thumb. Bring your finger pads to the mat. Step your right foot forward, one footprint, and then you're going to angle the heel down, setting up for warrior one, Virabhadrasana 1. All right. From here, your 2 blocks, you might want them, so place them on either side at the front of your mat. And now lift your torso off your front thigh, reach your hands forward. Pull your right hip to square your hips as much forward as you can. And then slowly come up, Virabhadrasana 1. Take a deep lunge into that front knee and really press down through the outside edge of that back leg. Super turned on. Now, some people, it still does not feel good to be in a warrior one position, so you can always lift that back heel up and take it more as a high lunge. All right. From here, sweep your arms up. Notice, again, if you feel that compression in your low back, and see if you can think about drawing your ribs towards each other. Make any adjustments that you need to also in your feet. So moving the left foot out to the side might also help to relieve any compression there. And then looking up at your hands, you're going to interlace them and bring the pinky edge right to the back of the head. Wrap your palms around so you have a good grip on the back of your neck. Now, pulling your palms towards each other, start to lift your elbows back up. So it's as though your hands were starting to lift the weight of your head off of your spine, giving yourself a little bit of a release from the pressure of your head down and spinal lengthening. Pull your elbow tips in and up so that you see both of your elbows in your peripheral vision, and then commit a little bit more into that front left leg. Woo! Feel the heat drop. Again, ribs together. Think about stitching right down the middle of your body. Take an inhale. And then exhale, release your head back onto the top of your spine. Arms extend. And then straighten your front leg. All right, you can keep the warrior one legs or lift that heel if you'd like to. I'm gonna reach forward, keeping a gentle bend in that front knee. And then eventually hands come down. Again, they can find the mat or you can pull in those blocks that you placed there for pyramid pose. Now do your best to keep drawing your left hip back. In fact, if it is helpful, you can take your left thumb and actually find your left hip crease and give yourself a little manual adjustment. Pulling that hip point back, maybe bringing your hand onto your sacrum, making sure it feels relatively level. And then placing both hands back down. Take an inhale and exhale. As we steep in this very intense posture, see if you can again maybe close your eyes. Maybe let your spine start to lengthen more over your extended leg. Pull your awareness more into the internal, your breath, how the shape feels in your body, where there is clenching and tightness, and starting to move your breath into that spot. Continue to feel a strong connection to the earth and press your feet down into your mat. And then slowly open your eyes if they were closed. Bend your left knee, plant both hands down, and step your left foot back into plank. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga, or all the way down to the mat. Kick your toes back. Inhale, pull through. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep your right leg high. Exhale, bend your right knee, thigh to ribs, and pull yourself forward into plank pose. Draw your thigh up so your shin is away from the mat. And then set your right foot down. Finger pads pressing down into the mat. Draw your left foot in, one footprint, and then ground it down. Heel towards midline, left toes out to the side. Now, you made some adjustments with your feet on the other side. Most likely you'll still want to do that on this side. So maybe right foot shuffling a little bit out to the side before we lift up. Then stretch your fingers forward. Use your core to lift off of that front thigh. And then slowly press up into Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1 on the second side. Draw your right hip back, left hip towards the front, squaring hips and shoulders as much as you can in your body. Then lunge a little bit deeper into that front knee. Strong outside of the left leg. Always heel lifting as an option if that feels better on your knee. Then reaching your hands up. Take the opposite interlace of your fingers. Find the very base of your neck with your pinkies. And again, wrap your palms around. Get a good amount of pressure. And then start to lift the back of your head up, cradling your skull in between the palm of your hands. Pull your elbow tips in, lunge a little bit deeper, and then start to lift your elbow tips up. See the periphery, both elbow tips in your gaze. Lunge a little bit deeper. Again, notice if you've started to let those ribs flare out to the side, pull them in. Maybe lift your gaze a little bit higher. Use your palms to relieve some of that compression on your spine, so it's no longer carrying the weight of your head. One more inhale. And then exhale, slowly let your hands break, reach your arms up. And then start to straighten that right leg. And we don't want to lock it out completely, but keep a gentle bend. Then pulling your navel in, hinging at the hips, start to reach your fingertips forward. And then eventually hands come down either to the mat or to your blocks, pulling them in. You can always take that back foot and step it in a little bit if that feels better for your pyramid pose. Also, on this side, I really just feel like it's a really nice personal adjustment you can do, taking that right thumb now, hooking it into the right hip crease, just pulling that hip back. Then move your right hand onto your sacrum. Feel the squareness of your hips. And then bring both hands down to blocks or to the mat. Inhale, think about lengthening your spine. And exhale, let yourself release over your extended right leg. Start to again, let your eyes, your vision get a little bit hazy, less focused. Maybe closing your eyes completely and letting yourself draw inward. Take an inhale. Take that breath through the bottom of your feet up to your hips. And then exhale. Let yourself release more. Inhale, draw the energy from the feet up. Both legs to your hips. Exhale, let your breath cascade down over your body. One more time, taking a deep inhale. Pull up. And exhale. Release. Start to open your gaze. Bend your right knee. Plant your hands. Step your right foot back. And then lower both knees down to the mat. Walk your hands in. You want your knees hip width distance apart. Pull your hands up to both thighs. If your mat is very thin and your knees are sensitive, fold up your mat so it's 3 mat material thicknesses and place your knees on that. Going to move into Ustrasana, camel pose. Yogi's choice if you like this with toes flexed or pressing the top of your feet down. Bringing your hands to both of your hip points. Take your thumbs as close as you can in towards your sacrum and pull down. Feel yourself turn on in your core. That low back decompress with the extra lengthening. Pull shoulder blades together. Inhale, gaze forward, and then start to bring your gaze up. Exhale, start to let your chest lift, shoulder blades draw back. Inhale, pull up through your chest, through your sternum towards the ceiling. Use your thumbs to lengthen down. And then let your hands stabilize your hips directly over your knees. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Core strong. Inhale, pull yourself up. And then exhale, sit back onto your heels. Let your hands Come forward, resting either palm up or for grounding, palm down on your thighs. Take an inhale and exhale. Release your hands down. Take a gentle twist to one side, bringing your one hand to the outside of your knee, the other hand between your toes. Exhale, switch to the opposite side. And then yogi's choice, you can either end class here in Thunderbolt pose. You might want to take a block and place it between your feet. Or if you'd like to take a traditional Shavasana, then just move your hips to one side and extend both legs, coming into your Shavasana. Both positions, feel for a long, straight spine. Gentle inhale. Exhale. Feel it grounding down into your hips. Inhale. Feel the outlines of your body expand with your breath. Exhale. Feel your energy pull back into center, collecting, becoming whole. Inhale, expand. Exhale, pull back into center. And last time together, inhale. Feel the particles, your energy vibrating, expanding out. Exhale. Feel them start to still, consolidate, pulling back into midline. If you are laying long in Shavasana, gently draw your knees out to the ceiling and plant your feet down. And then roll to one side. Slowly pressing yourself up to comfortable seat. And if you're in Thunderbolt pose, hips over heels. You can sit there and draw your hands together, letting your thumbs rest on your sternum. Inhale, draw your thumbs up to your forehead. Be curious. Follow your bliss. Namaste.